Is that now the opportunities are for everyone, especially studying abroad, and when the US and the Vietnam is getting a close relationship and connection is getting easier and accessible. So can you name some scholarships off the top of your head right now?
Sure. So one of the ones we'd like to talk about is the Fulbright program, which has about 10 programs underneath it. But this program I want to highlight is just celebrated its 75th birthday this year worldwide. There are 160 countries that participate in the Fulbright program. And here in Vietnam, this program is so special because it's celebrating next year its 30th birthday. That's a very long time for the U.S.-Vietnam relationship. And so we will be celebrating with some special events and activities. So we'll be sure to invite everybody. Please keep your antennas tuned. But yeah, so far in Vietnam, we have about 1,400 students that have participated in this program.
Wow.
And so, you know, Fulbright is definitely one of what we call our flagship exchange programs. It's prestigious. It's got a great reputation. There's a lot of very important people in Vietnam in different fields who have participated in this program. And it's a very strong alumni network. So when people come back, they don't just, you know, go about their jobs like normal. They connect together and they collaborate and they stay working together as Fulbright alumni. And I think that's one of the strongest points of the program. Is the network that you join when you become a Fulbrighter.
Definitely. I think Fulbright acquires such a good reputation in Vietnam. And for your information, our producer is also a Fulbright scholar. So we heard a lot about that. And I think that this is such a dream for a lot of Vietnamese students, such a great opportunity. So can you tell me more about the benefits of this scholarship? Like, what will the students get from this?
Well, first of all, we talked about how it's important to engage a diverse group of students. So we are not just looking for students that are able to pay for their own education. We want to make sure that people who are from difficult circumstances can also go and study in a foreign country. And so the first thing that it provides is money, which is very important for a lot of students. It provides a stipend, transportation allowance, plane tickets. It provides your tuition, all expenses paid for the entire program. And so I think that's really important. For a lot of students to understand. We'll cover your visa costs, like a lot of little administrative costs, but also the program will give people an opportunity to engage not only with Americans, but with other international students in the United States. So when you go over to the United States as a Fulbright, you are on an American campus and you get to deal with American professors and students. You get to attend, you know, football games and concerts and become part of campus life, just like a normal American college student. But what you also get to do is engage with all of the other students from around the world who have come to the U.S. for the same reasons. And they have seminars and special lectures and engagements so that the Fulbrighters can really connect together and create a network that goes beyond Vietnam, beyond America, but globally. And I think that's really powerful.
Fulbright is
Fulbright is
adventurous, an incredible experience, a really key part of American diplomacy.
The true purpose of it is to create mutual understanding.
It's rigorous.
It's what you make of it.
Fulbright is this incredible resource.
You don't know how much you're capable of until you're put in certain situations.
It gets you comfortable with the uncomfortable.
It really changes your identity. It gives you a new perspective.
I see it as like a chance to have a big adventure.
You embrace those hardships, you make it your own.
Fulbright is an academic cultural exchange program.
It's for Americans doing study, research, or teaching English for roughly an academic year.
I did my Fulbright in a small Pacific Island country called Kiribati.
And I went to London,
To Malaysia,
Belgium,
Senegal,
Jordan,
Cambodia,
India,
Singapore,
the Galapagos in Ecuador.
When I went to Trinidad, my research focused on girls in a juvenile detention center.
Trying to fight hunger and malnutrition in Ethiopia.
studied high-speed aerodynamics at a small research laboratory outside of Brussels.
Focusing on trivalent chromium and type 2 diabetes.
Working with researchers to understand the impacts from plastic pollution.
Taught 5th through 8th grade students conversational English.
The whole point of my project is to create empathy and understanding and respect for Kiribati people.
It's a life-changing experience.
It's not just your grant year. Fulbright is lifetime.
Fulbright is for everyone. So that means that Fulbright is also for you.
That's very nice. I think this is such a golden opportunity in a lifetime for you to like develop as a person and also as a global citizen. So I think that applying for Fulbright is really, really hard, I have to say. So what are some of the requirements for the applicants?
Well, first of all, I'd like to demystify that a little bit, and because I agree, it is hard. It's not easy. It's not like you just, put something in the mail and you're done. But it's not impossible. And everyone has to go through the same procedure. So you're not alone. There are many, many people that also say, wow, this is hard, but they're doing it. And I want to share one quick story, which is that many people apply once and don't get in, and then they apply again. And we see their names again and again. And each year, some of them are putting in more effort, and they are, maybe their essay is better, maybe their interview is better, maybe their IELTS score has gone up, maybe they have more professional experience. And so for one candidate, they took the interview, they applied for the Fulbright program 4 times before they finally got in. But on the 4th, they finally made it in. And now they're studying in the United States.
Inspiring.
And I'm very inspired by that, because it's somebody who says, okay, I know what I want, and I'm going to really try, and I'm going to make myself a better candidate each time. And they made it. And so it's not impossible. It is hard, but it's not impossible. But some of the elements that you're going to need are the same as any other scholarship. We'll need your transcripts from university. We'll need letters of recommendation, usually from a professor or from work colleagues, depending on the program, supervisor. We'll also need often something called a study objective. And this is where you tell us, what do you want to do? What is your proposed program? What is your vision and goal about studying in your area? And so that's where you kind of lay out your research or what you want to do in the United States. And then we have this other part that is like a personal statement. And this might be a little unique. I don't know if Vietnamese universities do this, maybe not, but it's kind of an American thing. But what it does is it's your opportunity to tell us what makes you special. So, maybe you come from a difficult background in a mountainous region and you had no access to educational opportunities like you would in a big city, and your parents are farmers, and yet you decided to start learning English at a young age, and you read books every night under your covers. What is your story? How did you come here today? Maybe you have a physical disability. Maybe you're from a minority group. Maybe you have, you just really are like passionate about international affairs, and you traveled to many countries. Whatever your story is, whatever makes you special, that's your opportunity to tell us. And it's very important. The committees, I know they read it very carefully because they want to feel the candidate through the paper. They want to feel who that candidate is. And then, of course, if you're selected for the next round, you'll come in for an interview, or you'll do it virtually sometimes because
COVID.
In our COVID times, modern. But the interview is also important because it's an opportunity, just like the personal statement, to tell us who you really are and why you're so passionate about going on the Fulbright program. And most importantly, when you come back to Vietnam, what will you bring back to your country? Because we want people who are going to be benefiting Vietnam. We want people who are going to be helping their community and who are going to, in whatever field. It could be business, it could be law, it could be the arts. But when they come back, we want to know that they're going to be contributing to Vietnam in a really powerful way. And so we want to hear that in the interviews. And yes, the interviews are in English. And so I know a lot of candidates get very worried about that.
No, but I think when they already get into the interview round, they have been so good.
It is true, but almost everyone who we interview says, "Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous."
Do you have any tips for that?
I mean, I think practice is one. Just repeating in front of a mirror about everything, before you come in. Just looking at yourself and being confident and telling your story.
Yes.
Maybe talking to family or friends and practicing and have them give you tips. But we also have a lot of Fulbright alumni who are willing to serve as mentors. And they can help, you understand what kind of interview, what are they looking for, and just read about it, because we have a lot of materials online that can tell you what kinds of questions we ask. It's not like a secret, we want to be open to tell you. We're going to ask you about your future career plans. We're going to ask you about what you will do in the United States. We're going to ask you how you're going to contribute to Vietnam. So I think preparation is definitely